Good morning, FJA students. Mr. Jeffries here with a new interactive math notebook entry. For this video, you all are going to be following along with me, pausing the video occasionally to do a little bit of your own work, checking your understanding, and the materials that you're going to need today are your notebook. You're going to need these two pieces of paper that went home with you. Okay, those two, scissors, glue, and a pencil. And the first thing I'm going to do, as usual with these activities, is I'm going to cut around the dotted lines, but not the solid lines. Pause here. This part is a little bit strange. There's two more dotted lines that run right through here because this is going to be kind of some long individual tabs. So cut there. You only need this one tab from this sheet. The rest of it can be recycled with the rest of your stuff, so just knock that off there. Make sure you're recycling it and keeping your house clean. Keep your parents happy. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is open up to our next page. You should have done all of the other additions into your notebook at this point. And at the top of the page here, we're going to write adding and subtracting with number lines. All right, so there's this strip that's connected. There's these three tabs all loose. Behind the strip that's connected right there, that's where we're going to put our glue. I'm going to glue that on the right side of the paper, just under your headline. And so what we have here are three different problems with a number line. The first problem we're going to tackle together, and it's this top problem here. The next two I'm going to have you all pause and try to work them out yourselves. Before we get going too far though, make sure that on all of these solid lines you fold it, and so this is going to be kind of like a tri-fold. All right, so let's tackle this first problem together. And remember, we're just adding and subtracting numbers with a number line, and that's because we're really actually adding and subtracting integers, which, just to jog your memory, include all of the whole numbers, negative and positive, as well as 0. So we're going to be adding and subtracting going both ways on the number line. The problem is Michelle ran 3 miles on the treadmill and burned 350 calories. When she finished, she ate a protein bar that was 190 calories and drank some flavored water for 25 calories. The question for us becomes, she burned calories. What way does that make us think we need to go on the number line? And then she ate more calories, so put those calories into her body. What way does that make us think we need to move on the number line? All right, so I wrote problem number 1 here. We're eventually going to do it on these as well. But for problem number 1, to review, Michelle ran 3 miles on the treadmill, and that allowed her to burn 350 calories. So over here, I'm going to write burned 350. Okay. Then she ate a protein bar that was 190 calories. Okay, so she ate and drank some flavored water for another 25 calories. So the way I think about this is if you burn calories, wherever you start, you're kind of subtracting them from your body. You're burning them. And so that means we're going to move left on the number line. When you add calories to your body, so if you eat or drink and consume calories, that's adding them. So this is subtract, add, and then together 190 plus 25, that's like adding a total of 215 calories total. So let's first work this out on the number line. Let's say Michelle starts right here. And so then she burns 350 calories. So she comes back left on the number line all the way to here. That's minus 350 calories, or CAL for short. So from here, after her workout, Michelle adds 190 calories and then another 25. So she goes up, back to the right on the number line, 190. So let's say it comes to about right there. So that's plus, well, I'll put that here, plus 190. And then she drinks another 25 calories, so that brings her up to about right there. So another plus 25 calories. So now we're gonna solve this problem of how many calories Michelle has relative to before she started her run on the treadmill. And so we're gonna solve it with the number line first, and then we'll look at it mathematically back over here. So with the number line, you can see this is where she started, and maybe I'll just mark that. So everybody mark that in yours. So this is where Michelle started. She went back 350 calories. She went up 190 calories, and then she added another 25 calories. And so when I look at that, I can see, well, this is where she started. She went negative 350 plus 190 plus 25. Well, that means she hasn't actually gotten back to where she started. So our answer is that she is negative calories from where she started at first. But to figure out exactly what that number is, I'm actually going to do a little bit of math. And so what I know is that she went negative 350, but then she goes positive a total of 215. And what we're looking for here mathematically is the difference between 350 and 215. And because I know the negative number, 350, is larger, my answer is that she would have moved negative on the number line. So the absolute value of this running on the treadmill and eating is going to be negative for her. So the question again is, what's the difference between 350 and 215? What mathematical operation do we utilize to find difference? Well, of course, that is subtraction. So I'm going to take 350 minus 215. I'm going to do that up here as well. 350 minus 215. Borrow 1 from there. That's going to be 5, 3, 135. So Michelle's ultimate difference is 135 calories, and because we know that the negative number was larger than the positive number, it's going to be negative 135 calories. So I'm going to pause here, and I want you to pause too and solve the other two problems here. First on the number line, so I want you to visualize it on the number line, and then behind, I want you to write down the mathematical way that you solved what the difference was between these two problems here. So go ahead and do that, and I'll catch you here in a second. All right, back to problem number 2. Damien's family budgets $375 for back-to-school clothes and supplies. After 2 days of shopping, Damien's family has spent $103 on supplies and $207.25 on clothes. The way I visualize this is I start here at 0 on the left side of the number line, and then they budget, meaning they kind of put money aside. They add money to that budget. And so that means they move to the right, they add $350, and this is where they start with their budget. Now, everything they spend, they're subtracting from their budget, meaning they're moving left. So first they spend $103 on supplies, then they spend $207.25 on clothes, and I know that the total of $103 plus $207.25 is less than $350, so they haven't gone all the way back here. I know intuitively that they still have some money left in their budget. The question is, mathematically, how do we find that out? Well, I wrote over here underneath, so their budget was plus $375, and I realized that I just wrote this wrong here, so $375 is what their budget was. Then they spent $103, and then they spent $207.25. So total, I added these up, their total expenditure that they spent is $310.25. So again, just like we did up here, we need to find the difference between their budget and what they spent. So I'm going to subtract 375.00 minus 310.25. So the difference is $64.70. And the question becomes, is that a positive or negative number? So relative to where we started, do we still have money or are we negative? And well, our budget was $375. We only spent $310. So I know that our answer here is positive $604.75. So they still have that amount of money in their budget. Try to work out problem 3 for yourselves if you haven't already, and then we'll check it together. So last problem, number 3, after her birthday, Sarah had $125 in her savings. She went to the mall where she spent $18 on lotion, $37.50 on a new purse, $12 on lunch, and $51 on a new dress. So we are going to need to visualize all of these expenditures. And I first want to kind of do this just on our number line. So let's say $0 is right here. So she, in her savings account, which is what she's spending from, she has $125. So we know that that's positive. So over here, put down $125. And I'll just put 0.00 here because we are going to be using cents, and it's kind of nice to visualize $125 with the decimal after it. So first she spent $18 on lotion. So she comes down $18 here. So that's minus 18, because if you spend it, we're going to go backwards or to the left on the number line. So minus 18 there. Next, let's see, $37.50, so a little bit longer than 18, so minus $37.50 there. Next, she $12 on lunch, so a little bit shorter there, minus $12. And then last, a bit longer, minus 51. So just to make sure that she didn't spend more than was in her savings account, the first thing we really need to do here is just kind of calculate, hey, what money did she have and what did she spend? And so I've almost got them all here. So she, in her savings, she had 125. She spent 18. She spent 37.50. She spent 51, and I already calculated that up, but I did leave us just a little bit more. I left out $12 on lunch, okay? So she had one more expenditure here. So I'm gonna write spent $12. And let's just add $12 to this. And you'll notice that because I have cents, 50 cents, and in the decimal there, I'm just gonna add a decimal and 2 zeros behind 12. It's the same number still, but it really helps me keep that decimal place in line. So 0 plus 0, 0. 5 plus 0 is 5. Decimal there. 6 plus 2 is 8. 0 plus 1 is 1. And then 1 over there. So she spent a total of $118.50. So again, looking at this, if she spent, or she had $125 to start with, and she spent $118.50, our positive number here is our 125. The money she spent is the negative integer, so moving left. And we know that if this is our negative number, and this is our positive number, which one's bigger? Well, it's the positive. So we're gonna find the difference between those numbers again by using subtraction. So 125 minus $118.50. 0 minus 0, 0. 0 minus 5, well, we got to borrow from over here, so let's make that 4. Borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 minus 8, we got to borrow again. So now we've got 14 minus 8 there, that's 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So our answer is going to be $6.50, or at least that is the difference between what she had in savings and what she spent. And so this area here, even though it's a little big, we actually know mathematically is going to be $6.50. And so because she had more money, or the positive integer was larger than the amount of the negative integer, we know that she ends with positive $6.50.